Hi, this is Steve Schroeder. I own Knob Hill Music in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and a lot of my customers have come in asking how to clean a record. So I'm going to show you today how to clean a record. The first thing, location. A double sink works really well. If you have that, you have one side to wash with and one side to rinse with. You need something to wash it with, and I would suggest like Palmolive, Joy, or Dawn. Something that doesn't have moisturizer in it and that doesn't have any perfume in it. You're going to need towels, one to dry your hands with, and I'll explain that. And then you're going to need one to dry the records with, and you want to make sure that it's 100% cotton or cotton linen, and that it's it's a smooth surface. So now that you're set up, get your record, and what we want to do now is to make sure that before we put a clean record back in here, that we clean the sleeve and the cover that the record is going to go back into. So the first thing is to clean the cover by putting your hand inside and just to knock any particles or dirt out. And then do the same thing with the sleeve. And you can also blow to get any dust out. Before you start washing, make sure you take any rings off, because the ring will mar the surface of the records. So you take the record and you wash it just like you would wash a dinner plate. You stick it in and run your hands on it, and then flip the record over and wash the other side. The reason I'm using my hand is because I want to make sure I can feel if there's any problems with the record. If there's a feelable scratch, if there's dirt on it that's stuck to it, if there's a greasy spot where my hand kind of sticks. So when you pull it out, sweep it with your hand and get all the suds off. And then remember, you're using lukewarm water, and you're using lukewarm water for rinsing as well. Then just shake off the excess water and take the record in an upright position and lean it on something like a paper towel against something while you're drying your hands off. And then get your towel to dry your hands off with. Then get your towel to dry your record. You'll notice that my towel has holes in it, and that comes from when you're drying your record. A lot of times you want to make sure that the label gets dried, and make sure do it on both sides. Then hang on to the record and then hold tight on the edges to clean off the area where most people put their fingerprints or holding the record. Sometimes you'll look in the light and you'll see that I have to clean, I didn't get that water off there. And sometimes there might be something stuck there, and you can take the wet spot, and as you can see, that's what causes this hole after using it a lot over a 6-month period. And I'll take my finger, put it behind the wet spot, and just gently try to prick it off. Then look and see if there's anything else that might be on there, like a greasy thumbprint or a thumbprint that actually didn't come off. If that's the case, something's there and you can't get it off, I use Dissolve It. And what you do is you squirt a little onto a cotton ball. Take the cotton ball, and wherever the places where the dirt needs to come off. Oh, there it is. Just rub on that and then look at the other side. Sometimes there's things on here that are not going to come off. They're a part of the printing process. Sometimes that little thing that you felt that didn't come off when you were washing turns out to be a defect. Other defects are lines, they could be bubbles, they could be indents, they could be cloudy spots. It's really not dirt and you can't get them off. Don't worry about it, it's okay. Now you have an oily spot. These things are oily, so you have to wash that section over again. Stick it in there and wash it off. Rinse it again. Set it down again. Dry off your hand again. And then redry it. Now there are some things that you might want to remember. There are some problems with records that are red, white, or blue when they're the solid color, like how this one's all black and then the printing's on top. If you have one that's all red with printing, all white with printing, or all blue with printing, you have to be careful with those. Remember when I showed you to take a spot off? Use the wet spot and just gently rub before you wash this record and see if the red comes off for all the colors. But when it comes to white, when you do it, you're not going to be able to see it on your towel. So just rub the white and bring it into the trail off area right here next to the label and see if any of the white smears into there. If that happens, then you're going to have to use your damp towel and just clean around the label on both sides. Okay, the other thing after you're finished that you want to remember, if the label feels cold or if it should happen to look like it has some bubbling on it, take the record and stand it up against the wall and let it just stand there for about 5 minutes and it'll come right back to normal.